All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the second episode of the Make Money and Have Fun show. So what happens over here every week, I'm bringing on different superstars. And for those of you that know me, you know my mantra, my philosophy, my belief system is in making money and having fun, because I believe that if we can learn how to bridge that gap between our passion and our prosperity, then we have achieved success. So this week's superstar, I gotta tell you about this guy in a minute. He's one of my favorite people. He's one of my best friends. He's one of my coaches, my mentors, and somebody that you all need to hear from. But before we do that, I want to talk to you about interacting with us today. So if you're joining us on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever it is that you're at, all you need to do is write your questions down in the comments. So if you have any questions for us, you can actually write them in the comments, and then check this out. I can actually bring your question right up on screen. So this is an example question, right? Or if you have a really important question, I can actually bring it right up on screen and we can answer those questions for you. So if you're joining us live, ask those questions down below wherever you're at, on YouTube, on Facebook, or joining us all around. Ask those questions. Let us know you're here. Let us know you're engaged, and let us know you're ready to have some fun. Now, on that note, I need to introduce you to today's guest. So today I'm chatting with Manny Lopez, and Manny helps create and enhance speakers, coaches, authors, and consultants with strategic PR opportunities and dynamic systems of automation. He's a husband and father of 3, but he devotes his time to creating a lifestyle of being #too blessed to be stressed, while creating opportunities for his network of over 30,000 business professionals worldwide. Manny's been featured in Inc. magazine, NBC, the Huffington Post, Bloomberg Radio. He was recently named Best New Media at Living Legends at Carnegie Hall, and he's also a CEO Space International graduate. And within just 2 years of starting his business, Manny was named one of the best by Facebook when they hit 1 million advertisers. Today, Manny uses his skills in building systems and brands to fund his passion project, From Orphan to CEO, where Manny teaches mentorship, entrepreneurship, and faith to day one entrepreneurs, at-risk youth, and kids that age out of foster care. So let's hear it from Mr. Manny Lopez. What's going on, Manny?
I'm excited, man.
Feel the drum roll from you.
I'm on your show now. This is fun.
So this is interesting. This is definitely interesting because I'm used to being on your shows. So we kind of flipped the script today.
I like it.
All right. So Manny, let's start off real simple. I'm going to ask you a real broad question. You can answer it however you'd like. Manny, what is your story?
My story? Wow. How far do you want to go back?
That is
we can go into diapers, man. We can go that far. But a lot of my story ties into when I was in diapers, right? 18 months, as most people know, and maybe some new people here. I was left in a car, right? Nothing but a diaper on me and my sister, where shortly after that experience, we get put into foster care. And we bounced around multiple homes. We ended up getting adopted. But by the time I was 24, I ended up just like these kids that are aging out. 2 out of 3 of these kids are either dead, homeless, or in jail within a year of aging out of foster care. And I was homeless twice by 24. And it really floored me on the statistics that go beyond that. And this is why I focus on my passion project today, which is From Orphan to CEO, where we're teaching these kids how to start a business, how to find a mentor, how to build their own dream, not wait for permission to build someone else's dream.
It's really a powerful story that you have, Manny. It's in its truest form. I feel like it's a almost a rags to riches type of story. But I think that more so it kind of shows that we're all capable of greatness. We're all capable of doing whatever it is that we put our mind to. What would you say was there a moment in your life that you feel like was some sort of like turning point, or I like to call them like catalyst moments? Like what was a catalyst moment for you, do you feel like?
It would definitely have to be in 2017. When my business was just kind of growing and starting out and starting to get these awards and these accolades, and I'm still looking from the outside in at, what have I accomplished with that? Right? I'm just, going out there and creating business. And, what is that doing? And so I had this really pivotal moment in 2017. It was actually January 27th, 2017. And I get a call from a friend of mine. And at that point, after that phone call, things had to change. My business was all focused on selling my way to success, where I would just go city to city all across the US, and I would pitch the technology that I was pioneering. And it was just get on stage, talk really well, share a little bit about my story, and then tell them, I've got this really awesome program you guys can buy in the back of the room. And it just wasn't fulfilling. I was losing time with family, and it's just not something that was really exciting for me and wasn't just driving me to wake up each day. And I had this moment where I knew I had to pivot, but doing so would put me in the one position I promised my wife we would never be in again, and that is homeless. If I didn't get results within just 2 months with this new idea, we would be on the verge of homelessness. I was like, we have to get results. And so looking at that situation, I didn't know what to do. I didn't really have clarity on the vision. And I tried to go to sleep that night. Dog wakes me up in the middle of the night, and he's got a pee. He's got the, bladder of I would say just a little peanut or walnut, just something really small. And he's going to just keep barking. So I take him out, and I get this voice in the back of head to keep walking, put the dog away and keep walking. And I'm like, this makes no sense. It's cold outside. I mean, I'm tired. I want to go back to sleep. This dog better hurry up and get his business done. And this, right when I was about to go put him inside, that same voice tells me again the same message, put the dog away and keep walking. And at this point, I'm very intrigued. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So, the curious Manny that there is puts the dog away and starts walking outside. I get this conversation I'm having with myself in the middle of nowhere, in the sense of just walking out and having this conversation that brought me real no clarity to begin with. I go to sleep that night, and it just brings everything to fruition. I'm running up this mountain because this voice tells me, Manny, help the orphans. You have no fear. I'm like, what does that mean? Right. And so trying to go to sleep, having this dream that this mountain's on fire and everyone's running down from it. I'm running up it. And all of a sudden I wake up and get this flood of exactly what I'm supposed to do. And if I explain, everything that happened since then, meeting Manny Lopez, collaborating with Les Brown, starting Servex, starting from Orphan To CEO, launching Network of Influence, literally all within just a couple of months period from that moment. Yeah. But it all brought clarity when I woke my wife up after that dream. And I said, babe, you wouldn't believe what happened last night. I had a conversation with God. And she starts crying. And I'm like, why are you crying? This is like an amazing moment. I had clarity what I'm supposed to do. I got to help the orphans. I got to take my business. I got to do this. I got to do that. And she's like, that was crazy, because yesterday when we were confused and we're just laying on the bed, not really knowing what to do, I was praying that God would reveal himself to you and tell you what you needed to do. And ever since that moment, fear was out the window on exactly what I needed to do. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what I was going to go into, how I was going to go create something. I just knew I had to take my skill, my genius that I had inside me, and apply it to more than just making money for myself. I had to start serving my way to success and stop selling my way to success. Had to create something that I can just gift to the world, because I have a process of something I can implement, something I can teach, something I can get results with. Just as every single one of you watching right now, you have something you're really good at, something you're probably doing for free. You're discounting it. You're just like, oh man, this is just fun for me. It's probably a hobby. You didn't even figured out that you could turn that into a business. And that's the concept that I knew I had to teach others, because what got me out of being homeless twice was me finding a mentor, finding entrepreneurship, building my own dream instead of waiting for permission to build someone else's, and putting faith as a foundation that no matter what I'm going through, all the chaos, all the ups and downs that we have in life, they're there for a reason, right? I just co-hosted an event yesterday with my wife called She Overcomes. Awesome event, all about women empowerment. And these women are getting up there over and over again, and they're talking about how it was all chaos. Oh, everything was terrible. Everything was going bad. And then they just gave everything to God. They just said, you know what? I'm putting faith as a foundation that I'm going to get through this. Something is going to happen that I will do well with it. I'm going to have faith. And all of a sudden, things start turning, and it's like snowball effect of what's happened. And, a thing came up on my memories today. Today, 1 year ago, my platform, MANNYfestation School of Business, which was this idea I came up with after having this experience, saying, I'm going to create a way for these kids to learn how to build their own dream, and they're going to be able to do it without a penny out of their own pocket. I'm going to be able to fund it all. And so far, we've been able to do that. We now have almost 18,000 entrepreneurs manifesting their own dream on our platform. A year ago today, we were at 4,700. And a year before that, this idea didn't even exist. And it's like looking at the concept of how they can build something and how you can build something. Anyone can build something by taking what they know how to do and apply it into a way that you can serve people at the same time you're serving your customers.
I love it. If you're on Facebook, can we get some wow faces for that? I mean, that was just an incredible story. And you know what's funny?
They're my favorite.
They are. We got a couple hearts. We need some wow faces though now. Yeah, for the Facebook people. If you're on YouTube, I guess you could pull up your little emoji keyboard and throw some wow faces in there if you know what you're doing. But regardless, I knew from the beginning, Manny, that was going to be an incredible story because you memorized the exact date. And whenever we memorize the exact date, I feel like those are some of our biggest like turning points, or what do they call them? Linchpins in our life. And it made me think of a similar one that I had in December of 2018. It was actually December 17th of 2018. It was 5 days after I turned 24 years old. I found myself with $57 in my bank account and to my name. And I was like, how the heck am I going to get through this? I had built up this real estate empire the year before, and that day, it had gone crumbling down. And I feel like the resonance with your story and with a lot of entrepreneur stories is that we kind of have to reach that point where we're risking it all for it all to work for us at that point. We got to go so low sometimes to build ourselves back up so high. And that's really what resonated with me about that story. I immediately thought of my time, and it was actually kind of funnier because I was at a seminar in Las Vegas, and I was thinking about how the heck am I going to get home? I can't afford an Uber to the airport right now with the amount of money that I have, and everything was crumbling down. And it's in those moments that I feel like we find a way. We figure out how to make it work. And I love those kind of stories. I love the stories where we take something that is seemingly very difficult and should have taken us 10, 15, 20 years, and we talk to people who have done it in 3 years or 5 years and very quickly get over that mountain.
Now, some people used to tell me, Manny, you can't say serve your way to success. You gotta change the name of your event from Serve X to something else because it's not going to hit with people. I mean, you're going to be just a servant. And now look at the way people look at serving. It's like we should all be serving first. I mean, this is how we should be serving, right? And the funny thing is, just like with your story, what got me to finally jump into entrepreneurship where I was not putting my toe in the water, right? I jumped all in was right after the second time I became homeless, right? I was like, we can't keep doing this. I can't keep starting over. I can't keep waiting for permission to build someone else's dream. And my mentor kept telling me, man, you got to build your own dream. It's not the key to just have a mentor or to just jump into entrepreneurship or just to have faith. You got to have all three simultaneously to truly build success. You got to find someone who has already been where you want to go, and they're willing to personally teach you. That's a true mentor, right? Then you have to have entrepreneurship as your vehicle. You can't sit on the sidelines waiting for permission, okay? And then faith is that foundation that you are building something bigger than you. And you got to understand that those tribulations, those challenges, they are meant for you, right? They are meant to build that idea even stronger, because then you know what the taste is on the other side, right? So many of these women that I interviewed and co-hosted with my wife yesterday was just focused on that. They were saying, look, if I didn't go through all of this chaos, I would not be so passionate about helping people on the other side, right? I mean, I look at it for these foster kids. I've been there, right? I've had to suffer malnutrition. I've had to suffer abuse. I've had to suffer neglect. I've had to even be tortured in the foster care system. And this is why 2 out of 3 of these kids are dead, homeless, or in jail within a year of leaving the system. What hope do they have when they leave? Do they get mentored to go build? I mean, some of these kids aren't even treated as human. I had to sleep outside with animals. I mean, it's ridiculous what some of these kids have to go through. I mean, there's are great homes that care for these kids in the foster care system. But if you see 2 out of 3 of them are ending up on the wrong side of society, well, then I think we can kind of see how many we're looking at that we need to help. And 26,000 kids are aging out each year. My goal is to reverse that statistic. I don't want to see 2 out of 3 of these kids dead, homeless, or in jail. I want to see 2 out of 3 of these kids have a mentor, understand entrepreneurship, and own their own business. I've been able to do that starting since 2011. And since then, I've never been homeless. I've been able to check off everything I wanted to have on my bucket list by the time I was 30 years old. I made a very specific list. I sat down with my wife right after being homeless for the second time, literally sitting in the back house of someone's home that they converted into a 1-bedroom so we wouldn't be homeless. We had this nice little family that agreed to let them move into their house before my kids are sitting there on the street. And I'm sitting there promising my wife within 5 years, by the time I'm 30, because it was like 24 years old, I'm homeless for the second time. I'm sitting there promising her, hey, please believe in me that we're going to do this. By the time I'm 30 years old, it's a long journey. This isn't going to be a get rich quick overnight thing. I understand after talking with the people I have been talking to, this is a long-term journey that we're going to go through. It's going to be rough. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs, but we have to work together to do this. You got to have that team. You got to have that partner. You can't do this alone, no matter how much people try. The ones that do it alone end up alone. You got to have whatever partner it is, your mentor, the rock that you have in your family, the people that are supporting you. You got to surround yourself with people that are encouraging you to win, and you got to surround people that know how to win. And looking at that, I made her promises. I said, by the time we're 30, we're going to be in Lake Elsinore in a 2-story home. We're going to have our daughter, because we only had 2 boys at the time. We're going to have a successful business, and we're never going to have to worry about being homeless again. I checked off every single one of those when I was 30, but check this out. January 27, 2017, I was 29 years old, not living in Lake Elsinore, not seeing myself successful in a new, I mean, I had all the accolades. I had all the little check boxes that they needed to say Manny is successful. But to me, what was I doing? Making money? Helping other people make some money? Woohoo! They could sell a couple more programs to some people. Okay, yay. What did that do to help anything? Right? And so that's where it really was kind of slap in the face to say, you know what? I got to do things differently. I got to do things better. I can build something more than just do a shout out to a couple of nonprofit organizations or something. I mean, there's got to be something I can do. And I looked internally. I said, you know, you got to look at what skills do you have? What skills do I have? What skills do you have? that we can help more people and be able to do it. And I figured out a way where you can serve the people you want and they don't have to pay a dime. The best part about technology and systems and automation and YouTube channels and social media, it gives us the ability to give people access.
Yes.
Access to our education, our resources, our wisdom, our experiences, our chaos, our ups, our downs. Most people, though, they don't get it. They're out there sharing my best of the best. Here's how I look great, guys. This is my perfect way that I want to present myself to the world so everybody thinks I'm successful. Well, my friends, that maybe worked about 20 years ago where, having a logo was considered, having a website, wow, right? Having a cover photo where your Facebook made 5 pictures in a row, 1 picture, wow, right? I mean, we remember these days, but today we're saturated with the information overload. I mean, scroll through your social media, everybody, right? Everyone's got the answer to success, but look at the numbers. 97% of entrepreneurs are failing. They are failing. They are struggling. They are not getting results. And yet everyone getting award after award, a bestseller, I understand it. We want to be able to have that success, but the success comes by teaching your experience. Success comes by other people validating what you do. How do you do that? Get as simple as just figuring out, how do you get results? What do you like to do? I like to call it the art of business. Audience, result, time frame. That's really the only 3 things people want to know when they want to know something about your business. What audience do you work with? Can you get that audience any actual result? And is there any measurable result in some specific amount of time? Audience, result, and time frame. And when you can get really specific on that, when you can get really narrowed in on how you can get those types of results for people, teach it. Give it away for free. Nobody does anything with free information. Look at the numbers again. If you go and you get 100 people in a room, I do this all the time. I get these little glasses, right? They look like they're really cool glasses, but they're my son's glasses. They're really, really small, right? But here's what happens. Imagine I put these glasses on and I'm in a room with hundreds or thousands of people. And I got these little magic sunglasses that allow me to see everybody that is actually going to do business with me, okay? Everybody that I'm like, oh, cool. They all just light up like auras, right? Oh, man, that person's going to do, and none of them know me yet. This is all day one. I'm shaking their hand for the very first time. If I go connect with all 100 of those people, 2 of them would buy on the first contact. Most people are just chasing sales, okay? And then you have to understand, let's say I went and met all those 100 people and I gave them it all for free. I just said, hey, here's my process of what people pay me thousands of dollars to teach them how to do or to do for them. Here it is for free, my step-by-step guide. You don't even have to pay me, right? Check this out. Out of those 100 people, 97 of them would never even get past the first step. They don't take any action without you. You, my friend. They want to work with you. They want to work with the expert. They want you to do it for them or to teach them how to do it. And all you guys are hiding it behind membership sites and webinars that nobody's watching, that nobody's getting to. 98% of your traffic that go to your site leaves within 60 seconds and they don't click on anything. They go just right back to Instagram. What are you doing to get results? So that's a lot of the stuff I teach on is a concept of serving your way to success. 80% of the sales in your business is going to be at least 5 contacts of value in, up to 12. Up to 12 connections, up to a dozen times, you're going to have to prove to them you have value and you can teach what it is that you're saying. And yet 9 out of 10 of you never go past 3 contacts.
I love it.
You're wasting your efforts, my friends.
I love it. Manny, I missed some of that in the beginning. Can you just say that all again real quick?
You missed all of it. Okay, so starting step, no. The idea is simple, man. You just got to build relationships, connect with people, and focus on just giving them the secret sauce. I mean, it's literally a strategy I've documented the numbers on. I'm a big data guy, as you could probably tell. I'm a numbers guy. I love looking at the numbers. And I've got a lot of people in my network. I got over 30,000 entrepreneurs in my network, but I can see all the data. I'm like, wow, I can see a lot of people moving. All right, what are they moving for? What do they like? How do they respond? Well, since I got to bring them back at least 5 times, how do I get them to come back? I got to bring value. And what's that value going to be? Value equals solutions. Bring your clients solutions. Bring them the results and say, look, you can do it for free. Here, take it. Boom. I just need your cell phone number. Get the cell phone number. No, don't get the social media follow first. Don't get the email address first. Don't tell them to go to your website first, okay? All of that waste 80 to 90% of your efforts just simply because of open rates. Think about it, right? If I get your email address, I got about a 10% reach, right? 10%. That's at best maybe 20%. Woohoo, right? If I go get you to follow me on Facebook, I'm only reaching 5% of my followers anytime I post. So 95 out of 100 people don't see nada. They don't even see Manny in their newsfeed, right? And the same thing goes if I take them to my website. Remember, 98 out of 100 people leave within 1 minute. They just scroll up and down that first page. Oh, that's a pretty website. I'm back to my newsfeed. You're not getting them engaged. What I do is I say, hey, I'll give you all of my stuff for free, right? Like this number right here. If you guys text this number, the word gifts, just gifts, GIFTS, okay? You're going to receive a response back with a bunch of gifts, like over 20 gifts. So if you're like a speaker, a coach, an author, a consultant, have at it, man. There are over 20 gifts, my blueprints, promote your business for free on my platform, get free tickets to my virtual events, all kinds of fun stuff, right? But let's say I just had a blueprint, right? Let's say I get paid to, let's say I'm Fred, right? I'm Mr. Fundable, right? I love calling him Mr. Fundable. I don't even know if he's got that tagline. He better get it, man. That thing is freaking beautiful.
I gotta get that domain.
Right? Go get it now, right?
Let's
say Mr.
I can go buy the domain.
Right? Let's pause the event, right? So let's say he has an idea he wants to share with you, like, hey, how to build your credit limits, right? How to add more, credit lines so you can invest more into your business. And let's say he knows how to get an extra $10,000 in credit lines in the next 90 days for you, right? So he literally just goes, okay, well, I'm going to get a piece of paper and a pen, and I'm just going to write out the process, right? So the first thing I do if I'm going to go get somebody credit lines is I got to qualify them. There's a couple of qualifiers I need. So I'm going to write down, I got to have that qualification, that one, and that one, and that one. All right. As long as they can check off those boxes, they're going to hit. It's going to work, right? So that right there, my friends, that's your audience. All right. Now you go, okay, so now I'm going to outline what I do. Let's say they checked off the boxes. First thing we do is we got to do this. All right. And then second thing, we got to do that. All right. And then we got to make sure to submit that to that. So I got to make that form in there. All right. So I'm going to outline this process. Boom, just boom, outline it. Fred knows exactly what he needs to do. He's done this many, many times. Right. So you look at that and say, okay, well, I'm going to outline this. This is step by step. Cool. All right. Now, for every little step he made, he can just keep it as a text, write it out, and just maybe take a picture of it. All right, that's the process. There it is. He could trade that picture for cell phone numbers. Say, look, guys, I'll give you my process. I wrote it all down. I know exactly what your qualifications need to be. I know the steps you need to do, the forms you need to fill out, who you need to reach out to. Bam, boom. Let me go take a picture. You can have this completely free, okay? Just give me your cell phone number. Now, why don't I ask for your cell phone number, not your email address? Why don't I just ask for your Instagram, right? Well, cell phone numbers, my friend, 98% open rate within 5 minutes. 5 minutes, not 5 days. That's 98, my friends. Out of 100 people are going to see your message within 5 minutes. This is why the report that Sell It came out with, CELLIT, for those that are taking notes, came out and showed that text offers are redeemed 8 times more than emailed offers. Okay, I'm just going to put this in simple numbers for you, Fred. Okay, let's say you have an email list. Who cares what number it is? Okay, you have an email list. You shoot out an invite to an event. Maybe you got some cool event coming up. You're like, hey, man, I want to invite you to this awesome network of influence event. Bunch of entrepreneurs networking, collaborating. No one's pitching. No one's selling. You should come out to it, man. It's really awesome. I'll get you in for free, right? Let's say he sends that out to his entire email list. He gets 50 people to respond saying, dude, I'm in, count me in, right? 50 people. Now, if he sent that same exact message, no different, same exact message to the same amount of people, but instead of email, he delivered that via text, 400 people would have responded saying, I'm in. 8 times more results. Do you want 8 times more clients, 8 times more appointments, 8 times more people connecting and collaborating with you? I don't have to have a huge amount of subscribers anymore. I can just work with this small little group of people and max out all kinds of opportunities. Literally, I can just text 250 little people in a small little group, and all of a sudden I got 80 appointments on my calendar booked. Tell me, when's the last time you could have 250 friends and get 80 appointments booked? 250 email subscribers and get 80 people to book an appointment on your, I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. And yet 5 out of 100 entrepreneurs even have a mobile strategy. It's disgusting.
I love it. Man, I can tell that you used to be a speaker.
Maybe. Yeah, I've been trained by the best. You know, have you heard a guy named Les Brown?
Something like that.
He's a pretty cool guy. He's actually a former kid that's been adopted. And,
yeah.
You know, that was my big inspiration. If you guys don't know who Les Brown is, Google him. I mean, Georgia Dome, 80,000 people hearing him speak. Everybody knows who this guy is. I mean, over 1 billion people on the planet know. But the concept for me is he made it possible. He was that first person my mentor told me, Manny, look to as an example. You know, this is a guy who was adopted just like you. He had all kinds of challenges in school, just like you. But yet, look what he's been able to do. He took all those challenges and he still won. You need to find somebody who is similar to you. I guarantee you there's at least 10 people you can find on this planet who have done what you are trying to accomplish and have a similar background to you. You just have not found him yet, or her. So look to that person that you can look to as an example and just win. No, it doesn't matter how many times you fail, how many times you get knocked down, because the only way you lose is when you throw in the towel, when you stop moving forward. It's as simple as that, my friend.
This is amazing stuff. I got to reel you back in here, Manny. We're getting close to time here. I know that you're a busy guy. You got stuff to do, and I got stuff to do as well. But I want to kind of bring back up a couple times you hit this point of focusing on the thing that fulfills you, the thing that you're passionate about, the thing that lights you up. And like you really mentioned a lot in that speech that you gave, it's like a lot of people have one side of this puzzle or one half of this puzzle complete. And it all comes back to making money. You know, we go into entrepreneurship and we look at somebody like Les Brown or Tony Robbins or whoever, and we're like, oh my God, they charge, $50,000 for an hour of their time. I'm going to go do that. And we look at everything as this transaction or as this wallet for us, to kind of pick up on. But when we flip the script, like you said, and focus first on building the relationship and then asking for a sale, it makes us, first of all, that much more money. But second of all, it gives us that more fulfillment and more passion in our life and just lights us up. And I think that's really seems to be the catalyst moment that you kind of had back in 2017, where you said, the money's coming in, but I have nothing filling me up, nothing really lighting me up at that point. And that's why I always tell people, when we can bridge that gap and actually make that connection, now we've achieved success at that point. Because without it, we're just chasing dollars all day long, and it's never going to be enough for us. So
success, I would definitely say, has a lot to do with fulfillment. It definitely does, because there's so many people out there, and I see them all the time. They're just crying on their private jets.
Yeah.
They're alone. They don't have what others would feel as fulfillment, right? And purpose.
Exactly.
They figured out how to monetize a skill. Monetizing a skill is not purpose. Monetizing a skill can help you fund that purpose, can help you bring awareness to that purpose, can help you free up more time for that purpose. But you have to understand how to utilize that as a tool and not as your purpose.
Right. And that's why I bring this show out every week, is because there's such a thing as being rich and miserable at the same time. And when you can fix that, whatever half of the bridge it is, now all of a sudden everything's in alignment, and it just makes everything that much easier. So we do have one question from an audience member before you run off here. So Kimberly asked, what are some affirmations that you use daily if you're an affirmation guy?
I'm not really an affirmation guy. Here's kind of my daily routine. I don't use an alarm clock. I'll wake up somewhere. I mean, it just depends. I'll probably get 6 or 7 hours of sleep. And then first thing I do, of course, is check my phone, right? Did I miss anything overnight that, any fires do I got to put out or anything I got to respond to quickly, anything like that. But one thing I do kind of do privately, nobody really knows about this. So it's kind of breaking news, but I'll have my conversations with God. So I'll be thankful. I'll, thank him for the day. I'll thank him for what he's going to do, what he's going to bring me, what in person he's going to put me in front of to serve and help. And it's a thing that I think truly helps in bringing alignment to my purpose. This is what I used to do every day with my mentor before we would start work, because we actually worked at a call center, right? I would be on the phones every day, 200 people a day I would be talking to, trying to get them to understand how to fix their problem. And I had to get really aligned with serving and not selling. A lot of the ones there that were working just like, man, let's hit big numbers, put them into the most profitable program, and let's just slam them to money versus help, right? And my mentor, who was also the man who married me and my wife, he was a pastor at the local church, still is to this day, and by day he was a manager. And so he would always tell me, Manny, let's pray over the people we're going to help today. And so it kind of stuck with me, and it's something that I would say is kind of an affirmation. It's being thankful and having gratitude to what is going to come, regardless of it being a thunderstorm or being, beautiful, clear skies. There's a purpose in it all, and look to be a sponge for knowledge on those types of situations, because that's the thing that I think a lot of people miss. They go through some problem. They think, I just gotta, not pay attention to it, block it out until it passes, Instead, I'm like with the magnifying glass with it, like, okay, where am I supposed to learn at this thing? There's some learning experience here, which totally takes me out of the chaos, right? Go get your magnifying glass on your chaos. Stop trying to blind it and trying to close the shutters on it. Get in depth on what it is you're supposed to be learning from it. Because I'm telling you, every single time I've been through chaos and I look back 5 years after the fact, I'm like, okay, now I see what I was supposed to use that for. All right, this is that character building. This is that armor of God you're building up, where you're like, bam, I've got this new shield now, man. Oh, I've got that going. Oh man, this is going to hit well. So it's understanding how to utilize the chaos. And I love that, magnify the chaos. It's definitely something I think if you could do more of that each day, my friends, you're going to be happier. You're going to be just like me. I call it too blessed to be stressed. And if you can live that lifestyle, you'll do well.
I love it. I even look at it now for myself. Like I'm so positive all the time that sometimes I feel like it's bad. It's like almost like this toxic positivity kind of thing. But it's the same thing like you said. Every moment that I come across, I look for what's the thing that's working and what's the thing that makes sense of it all. Manny, this was incredible.
I look at it as, in the sense where if you look at life negatively, because I've seen it on both sides where I talk to people and they're like, this is bad. And then something's good and I point it out to them and I look at it and they're like, oh, well, it is okay, but this could have happened with it. So it's like, if you're already in a negative attitude, you'll never be able to attract positive, even when it's right in front of you. Yep. You'll sit there and you'll be like, nah, fake news, right? Sure. And it's like, what? Like, I look at things as like, I try to be as positive as I can, as happy as I can, with as much as I can, because we have a very short time to impact people. right? It could be a couple of years. It could be a couple of decades. You don't know when you have not much left time here. So you got to look at it as create your impact, show the example of what's possible. But you got to learn it first. I know it's hard. Some of you may be stuck in that. Where the frick is it possible, man? I'm stuck in this maze and I'm at a freaking wall. I've been going around in circles. Find the person who has the map. And if they're willing to walk you through it, man, that's the way you get out. Otherwise, you're just going to be spinning yourself in circles until you maybe figure it out 60 years down the line and your life's gone.
Manny, if I had a microphone right now, I'd be dropping it, because this is golden nuggets here coming out. I love it. I love it. So, Manny, let's kind of wrap up on our time here. I know we both got things to do, but in closing, what's the best way for people to contact you or get in touch with you, or whatever you want to give at this point?
Sure. So I'm direct access, right? This number right here, if you text that number or call that number, it goes directly to this cell phone. So for me, if you have any questions, if you want to connect, if you anything, just text the number and you'll be able to reach me directly. So if you text gifts, I got a bunch of gifts for you. So I just like giving away my stuff, all my courses. I give away the do-it-yourself versions for free. People charge subscriptions and put them into membership sites and all that fun stuff. And those are great and all because it kind of forces you to show up. But I love to just give it to you guys for free and let y'all show up if you like it. So text that number gifts and they're all yours for free. Thank you.
Oh, I'm putting it up there for you. I'm just typing slow today.
Oh, wow.
Boom. There you go.
There.
Text to 714-369-8528. Manny, this was incredible stuff. I love it. And I guess I should say at this time, remember that you are too blessed to be stressed. Thanks a lot, Manny.
Thank you, brother. Have a good one.
You got it.